1 second.
Make another video about your subtraction facts. And I just wanted to kind of go over some of the different ways you could think about how to solve these. So let's start with -1. So taking 1 away from any number should be easy because all you're doing is going back 1 number. You just have to remember that when you're writing a subtraction sentence, this is your whole, you're taking away 1. So I have 5, that's my whole, and I'm taking away part of it, 1. So keep in mind that part whole relationship. And you want to know what part's going to be left after you take 1 out of 5. So you just count back. I know that 5, and then take away 1 from that, going back 1 would be 4. So same thing with 12 minus 1, that would be 11. For -2, since 2 is a small number as well, I would be okay with you counting back by 2s if you can handle it. I mean, it'd be great if you could do it in chunks of 2, but if you have to do it 1 by 1, that's okay too because it's a relatively small number. I wouldn't want you to count back any more than that because the higher the number you have to count back, the higher the chance you're going to make a mistake. So we want to try to use other strategies that we know of to help us here. So a little cool thing that you can try to remember is that when you're subtracting, if you have a even number as your whole and you're taking an even part out of it, you're going to have an even part left. An even number minus an even number will always be an even number. So if I have 6 and I'm trying to take 2 away, that would be 6 minus 1 would be 5. So -2 would be taking away 1 more, which would be 4. And remember, with a part whole relationship, you can use addition to help you subtract. So if 4 is correct over here for 5 minus 1 equals 4, then 4 plus 1 must be 5, which it is. So I know that this part is correct. 11 plus 1 must be 12 if my answer is 11, and those two parts come together and make the whole of 12, so that's also correct. 4 plus 2, 5, 6. That's correct. All right. For 9 minus 2, there's a couple of different ways you can think about this. You can think about 10 partners. You could think, I know that 10 minus 2 is 8, but 9 right here is 1 less than 10. So my answer would have to be 1 less than 10 minus 8. So hopefully that makes sense. So if 10 minus 2 is 8, and you know that, you can think, well, 9 is 1 less. So if 9 is 1 less, if my whole is 1 less, and I'm taking 2 out, then my answer would have to be 1 less than 10 minus 2. So instead of 8, it'd be 7. Or you could think of it as 8, 7. So whichever one is easiest for you. Now, I wouldn't really count back any more than 2. So with these smaller numbers, it's easy to do that without making a mistake, but the higher the number, the easier it is to make a mistake. So when I'm taking 3 away, there's different ways that I can do each problem. So there's the make 10 to subtract strategy. Instead of taking away all 3 out of the 11 at first, I can try to make a friendly 10 number. So that way I have 10 partners. So I know that this 1 in the ones place needs to disappear for me to be able to turn this into a 10 partner problem. So I'm going to break that 3 into a 1, and then I got to make sure that the other part of that 3 adds up to 3. 1 plus 2 is 3. So I can break that 3 into a 1 and a 2 if I want to, and take them away a little bit at a time. So 11 minus 1 would leave me with 10. And now that I've taken that 1 away, I still have to take this 2 away. Because remember, this is 11 minus 3, not 11 minus 1. You have to finish taking away that part 3. So now I'm going to take away the 2. That's a 10 partner problem. I know 8 plus 2 is 10. So 10 minus 2 must be 8, which means 11 minus 3 must be 8. And 8 plus 3 is 11, because if I take 2 out of the 3 and give it to the 8, that makes 10, and then one more would make 11. So that is correct. All right, 7 minus 3. There's different ways I can think about this one. I am going to use my doubles facts to help me here. I know that if I add 3 plus 3, I know that that'll be 6. I just know that because I've seen 3 plus 3 so much. But the problem is, I don't have a whole of 6 in my problem. It's a whole of 7. So what can I do to get a whole of 7? Well, it would have to be 3 plus 3 plus 1 more, because 7's 1 more than 6. And I can think of that 3 and that 1 as a 4. So instead of 3 plus 3, I would have to use 3 plus 4 to get the 7. So since 3 plus 4 is 7, 7 minus 3 has to be 4. All right, so 8 minus 4. I got lucky here. I can use doubles facts to help me with this too. I know that I can break a whole of 8 into 2 parts that are the same. If one of my parts is 4, well, then I just know from my doubles facts that the other part has to be 4, because 4 plus 4 is 8. And then for 10 minus 4, I have a 10 partner problem, which should be really easy. I know that 6 plus 4 is 10, so 10 minus 4 would have to be 6. So there's different ways that you can think about these. We want the kids to get away from counting up, counting down by ones on their fingers if possible. So we want them to start taking numbers away in chunks, being able to break down numbers mentally in their heads. So that's why I used a few different strategies just to show how it can be done. So if you have any questions at all about that, please let me know and I'll try to help as soon as I can.